Good evening, YouTubers. Welcome to episode 133 of Shrigleytube TV. As always, thanks for all the comments. Particularly enjoy all the comments regarding Bernie. What an absolute legend. I am very lucky to have him helping me out, amongst lots of other people that have helped me out, by the way. My family, my dad, loads of people, our kid. Been brilliant. We're nearly up and running, nearly making money again. I've had a bit of an up and down week. Bernie bailed me out of the muck big time. Wait till you see what he did with my boring machine. He was a very clever man. Anyway, I'll let you see that in the video. Unfortunately, I'm gonna have a bit of a moan at first because I had some bad news last night, and that is that Bradford won't be supporting the stock cars this year because of basically the rugby's took over. So really gutted about that. I've made a little list here for me to rant on about. Now, I know I always go on about stock car racing being great, but there's a reason, and that is it's proper suffered. Like, that's not the reason. I love stock cars because it's really good to watch. I love watching F1 stock cars, I love supporting them. And I look at the effort the guys make to go out and race and put a show on for us, and I just think, wow, you know, to turn up and pay 22 quid to sit in the stand and watch this, it's like going back in time. You can't believe it's real. It's that good. Anyway, I understand it's not everyone's cup of tea, but it's been going for 70 years. It's an old sport, and it's continuous. That it's never had a drop. That's it. It's run every year. We've had loads of tracks, and now I've lost Bradford, my local track. Just absolutely guts me. So I've got a plan. If anyone's got a massive pot of money, right, and they want to spend it, we'll buy a digger or a couple of diggers. What we're going to do is find a bit of land close to the M6, ideally near to a railway as well. And what we'll do is we'll dig a massive hole, right? And we'll build maybe a tarmac track in the middle, and then a shale track round the outside, and a grandstand all the way around all that. And then the clever bit is we'll put a lid on it and use that as a car park, so that whatever the weather, you know, obviously we have to use modern extractor fans and all that to lift the dust out and the smoke, but it can't be hard in this day and age. Can't just sort that out. It's only money. And then, yeah, I just thought if you could make it a multi-purpose stadium, but owned by stock car people, so the stock cars weren't always on the back burner. You know, oh, you can come this week, but not next. So our stadium, and then you could have it as like football, rugby. I don't know, multi-purpose. You know, music events, chess competitions, cyber weekends, whatever you want. But stock cars get, you know, priority. That'd be the important thing. Just to show you how hard stock cars have been hit over the years. In the last 20 years, all these stadiums have gone. Obviously, most recent Bradford, this is the second time. Aycliffe, Bellevue twice, and then they built a speedway stadium and wouldn't let the flipping stock cars go there, which is just beyond me. Blackburn, Bolton, Hartlepool, Crewe, Long Eaton, Nelson, Rochdale, Sheffield, Stoke. And you've got to ask the question, in modern times, what's going wrong with the world? Well, mental health is out of its brains, you know. There's so many problems with mental health, and I think a lot of it is because people don't get out and mix. You need to get out and mix with people. And when you go to stock cars, that's what you do. I've sat down in the grandstand and met a bloke, talked to him. 5 minutes later, he's giving Dougie his hand boys, because obviously he was a Wayman fan, so he was a good guy, but I'm joking. No, what I'm trying to say is we need to get out and mix. The government thinks that we could just tax us all to death, work us to our bones, or, you know, and then just sit down in the house and watch Netflix all weekend. Don't work. Everyone's brains are going to pop. We need to get out, down the M6, go to a stock car weekend, a good stock car event. If you enjoy your stock cars, or whatever you enjoy, football, whatever. If you're having a bad week at work and you know you're going stock cars on a Saturday night, that Saturday night will carry you through the week because you know you've got something to look forward to. And I think that's what people are missing, you know. Anyway, it's enough of Andy, the amateur psychologist. I'll let you get on with the video. Hope you enjoy what you see. And if anyone's sat there with a massive pot of money or lottery winning and they're wondering what to do with the money, let's build a stadium for the stock cars, and it can be a stock car stadium first and everything else second. Right, I'll let you get on with the vid. Peace out. This isn't a very good start, is it? The alarm's going off. It's Monday morning. No idea what's going on here. Good morning, YouTubers. It's Monday morning. came into the alarm going off, which is quite good because it doesn't work properly, but we'll fix that. Anyway, I thought I didn't do Sunday Night Club last night because we had VAT return to do, so I was doing the VAT till late. So I've come in and I thought we've got to get defrosted on something easy, should I say. So I'm going to machine a couple of sets of bearings. These are the mini bearings that we use, the cracking bearings, these. But obviously it's a wider journal on the mini. So what we do is we put them in this rod. I think we've been through it a million times before. So I will bore you with the machining process. And basically I clamp them up in a 3-jaw and I just face the bearing down to size. And then we file it all neat and deburr it all. So I'm going to do a couple of sets of those. Hopefully Bernie will be here by then. And what I'm really keen or anxious to know about is whether the borer can be fixed, because I've got a lot of work for that borer this week. I wanted to get stuck into my blocks and get on all board ready for liners. So we're going to do this and then we'll wait till Bernie turns up and see where we go from there. What are we going to talk about, Michael? Look who's walked into the workshop. How you doing, Mike?
I'm really good, Andrew. How are you?
Thanks for agreeing to talk to us. And I hope you enjoyed watching the video I made of you around Alton Park and your tests and everything.
Yes.
And all the collation of videos that people sent to me. That was good, that, wasn't it? Well, we've just been watching it now, trying to discuss your gear ratio plan, haven't we?
Yeah.
We just... we'll talk about what you got planned. Well, I'll tell you what, we'll start with Race Retro. I believe, is it 20th of February?
22nd February, something like that.
Yeah. You're going to go there and have a whiz round, are you?
Yeah, that's the plan.
Excellent.
When we get those bits back in the box.
Yes, so, yeah, there's a few parts on the bench here that have found their way out of his gearbox. And we've been scribbling ratios down, trying to decide the best way to go, haven't we, for the rally car? Because it's a bit difficult because of what you're doing, you know, it's all up to sort of 80 mile an hour, isn't it?
Yeah. We only had one motorway link section. It was a bit noisy. We were revving my brains out, so we don't want to make that any worse. But yeah, certainly getting it off the line. The tall first gear, which I thought would be good, probably a bit too much on the clutch. It just...
Yeah, was it 27 race starts you did in a weekend or something?
There was 27 special tests, yeah, so we were launching it off the line a lot. I mean, the clutch has stood up to it really well. I sacrificed the clutch rather than the drivetrain and the gearbox.
Yeah, that's a good thing.
But yeah, it was just a little bit too tall.
Right, so we've just to give people a rough idea, is it a 12.75 you've got in it?
Yeah.
So we looked at a 13.65, but realistic, that's for a 5-speed, so you have to make a spacer for it. So we put a little shout out on the group chat that we're on for the race imps, and Mr. Young James Ibbotson has kindly offered to part with one of his first gears, which is a 16.5. So I think that's a really sensible way to go. I think that'd be a great, off the line. And then what we've done is we've just done a bit of crunching. And we've got a couple of ratios here that we're going to change second and third and bring them both down as well. We'll leave fourth as it is because you're not going to get into it on the rally, on this race retro.
No.
But the big long-term plan is to get the engine in and give it a refresh, rebore it, set of pistons and get the compression up and get some more horsepower out of it. We're not doing it just yet because we haven't got dynos and stuff to test it properly. But yeah, I think that'll be good because what it'll do is it'll allow us to get a real idea of, we'll get some feedback from Race Retro, and then when we get the engine sorted, we'll have more feedback again to work out where you want to be.
Yeah, that's what we want to do, and I don't mind if we end up swapping ratios back because you've got me more torque, more horsepower than the engine has now.
We'll just borrow these ratios for the time being, and then
we'll know where we are. We'll have a better idea. It was a good set to start with.
Yeah,
felt good on the road. When we got on the test and we were actually competing properly, first was probably a little bit too tall. Second, maybe one step up too much. That could have done with coming down a little bit. And but I'm being really fussy. But I'm fighting for seconds. I'm literally looking for seconds.
Well, you're now going to be in. You've got like half a gear for first. You've got a first and a half for second. And third is like a second and a bit. So you're going to be. You should be up and down the box like a yo-yo. It should be. you should have some, basically, it should liven it. It'll be like, if you imagine you had like an old RS2000 with a 3.5 rear diff in it, and someone gave you a 4.4 and said, try that. It's going to be like, wow, it'll be good, this. So that's the plan. What I was going to say, Mike did bring me a box of goodies. It was very, very kind of him. I've put them all away now, but one of the things he's brought me, he didn't like my bit of wire, did you? He saw it on the internet, on the show. What's up?
Look at that.
I like my bit of wire, but he's brought me this. It's like
new workshop, new professional kit. That's what it's all about, Andy.
Can we talk about my overalls?
Oh yeah.
Look at this. Look what Mike's brought me. Look how professional. I'll have to put this on when I get like customer come to see me, you know. Look at them, belting them, aren't they? Look, Sparko. I think I'm going racing. I might put a helmet on, keep warm. And my race gloves. Yeah, thank you very much. I think I'm not quite as big as that, but we'll call it airspace, you know? Bit of airspace. Yeah. I'm hoping to lose more weight, to be honest with you, before the start of the season.
Put your thermals on underneath, and then you can turn your heating off.
Oh, yeah, that'd be good. Save on heating. Yeah, that'd be brilliant. Right, Mike, I'll let you get on. Thanks for talking to us, and we'll send you away now, and you can get on with building your gearbox up, and we'll go from there.
We'll put it back together, and thank you, James. I'll be in touch.
Brilliant. Right, we've got a plan. He's a man after my own heart. He's giving it the old compression. That's it, lads. You get it down. He's watching us when we played teabags with the Jones and Shipman grinder, Bernie.
Yeah.
We were dropping it from a great height on the stacker forks to compress. Now, what's happened here, Mike? Mike's absolutely horrified by what he's seen. But I was operating under full instruction from Bernie, who said, Andy, I think your machine's cream crackered. But he isolated what the issue was, because it was inside here, wasn't it, Burns? Inside here, there was a wire that was going to earth. In fact, you can see that, I can see the shiny on it, even I can see it, Bernie. And what we did was, I just said, I can do something here, Bernie, called keyhole surgery. So I've used an old hole saw cutter, and I basically just machined a hole in the side of the unit. Now I know it's a bit sacrilege like, but realistically, we just need it fixed. It's just got to work, Bernie. It's not an ornament, is it? Oh, I know. I've got full faith in you, Bernie. We're going to be boring blocks this afternoon. Right, Is it ready for the turn on?
No.
Oh, I'm going to get excited then. I'm going to video it.
No, not turning on yet.
Right, wonderful. Okay, go on. Oh, that side. I'm recording, Bernie. Right, I'll hold that there. Watching it, go on. I think we have to go up to a 5 amp fuse, Bernie. Sorry. Right, we've had a bit of bad news. Bernie's done every test possible on the motor, and unfortunately, the windings have come to the end of their useful life. So we're desperate to do this engine for Steve. So I said to Bernie, look, I'm going to have to just go in there.
Sometimes things just can't be fixed.
Come back in again, and I need you to rig it so it works for me. What do you reckon? No, it's not Bernie. I've done that. Bernie, can you do the switch? Let's see if it works. Yeah. Bernie, just one problem, Bernie. It's going the wrong way. Are you okay, Mike? You've gone a bit white.
Yeah, I'm considering where I might take my engine for its next rebuild. So
really?
I don't think it's going to be here.
Mark Maynard?
Mark could do it, wouldn't he?
Yeah, I bet Mark's machine hasn't got a drill stuck to the top of it, has it?
No, he's probably got a drill that goes the right way.
He's probably got a drill that goes the right way, yeah. No, we're just playing with ideas, because I wouldn't suggest boring an engine with this, but if we just want to, if we can get these jobs in the out tray, what we're going to do is, we're going to go next door, chaps, and see Bob, because Bob's got a scalp, which is a proper borer. And this is like a message from above saying, Andy, it doesn't matter what it costs, you've got to buy it, because it would be a brilliant machine to have in here to do the boring. This is just a bit Heath Robinson. We're past this now. It was time for it to fail. So it's failed for a reason, Bernie. I've not took it personally. And thanks for your attempts. I do like it a lot. But yeah, it's it's just gonna...
Just a couple of hours wasted.
Yeah, well, it's just a bit of fun, isn't it, Bernie? If we can make this work... See, the best thing is, Bernie, is we have actually got a spare Hoover motor down here. Could you rig that for me, do you reckon?
We can do anything, Andy.
Anything?
We can do anything.
I love it.
Apart from fixing windings.
Right, let's have our out-of-date sandwiches. Chaps, it wasn't a bad start to the day. It's Monday evening now, near time to go home. I did my bearings on there, that was good. And then we've had Mike come to see us. Bernie did his very, very best to try and fix the motor windings in here, but unfortunately, they've just had too much heat over the years, and more than likely the fact I had added moisture to the equation didn't help it in the slightest. So, what I had to do, which I'm not particularly proud of, if you look up there, you'll see the wrist snapper. I've got the same drill. That's the first wrist snapper I had. And we called it the wrist snapper because it's a high torque Makita drill. And I used to hone the blocks with that one, but one day it snapped the actual handle off it. Can you see where the handle just clean snapped off on it? So that became scrap. And I moved on to this one. Ah, yes, it's down there. So that's how it should look. Anyway, so I've got this to work just so I could machine this block, because I've got a chap who's sort of waiting on me to just do a bit of machine work for him. So I've machined that, and I've also put the chamfer on it, ready for the rear oil seal conversion to go on. So that's all done. So at least it's functional. Now, Bernie came up with a bit of a plan. He said, look, you know, can we buy another one? I said, well, we can, they're like $1,000. But what we decided to do is we're gonna put an external drive on it off of here onto a three-phase motor, and we'll mount the three-phase motor on here on a chain drive, and we'll give it what he's gonna do, it's a clever bit. We use a three-phase motor. He's gonna use a variable speed controller on it, so we can control the speed. Because one thing that I've noticed doing this job has been an absolute doddle, because the torque, even though it's a slower speed, the torque that motor, that little Makita hand drill has got over the original motor, it's massive. I just chewed through it in minutes, you know. So I said to Bernie, if we can get a decent motor on it, we could really make this, we could improve the way the machine works, you know. I did try and buy, Bob's got a scow borer. I went in and said, I'll give you $3,000 for it on the tick. And he said, get lost, I'm not selling it. So that was that. But do you remember the Jones and Shipman grinder? It had this in the bottom of it that ran the pump. So I know it works because I used to use it. It's a three-phase motor with a 3H peg chain drive on it, which is quite ideal because it means that we can put it straight onto a 3/8 drive, you know, like more than likely an imp sprocket. Although, to be honest, when I've looked at the internet tonight, I wouldn't mind something a bit bigger than an imp sprocket, because I don't want it going too fast. We want to get a bit of torque, you know. But obviously, being three-phase, and I think that's about half a horsepower, so it should be ample speed-wise. Obviously, we're restricted to the size of the gear because it's going to have to sit at the very bottom of there on that shaft, and then we'll bring the chain across here to there. Yeah, just an idea. It might just be a complete waste of time, but I think it's worth a shot, because I particularly want to stay with this setup because this is what I'm used to, and all my tools work with it. I've spent hours getting this dead straight, so I can literally, like you saw with the 74.25mm bore from 74, I can bore it and I know it's dead true to this bed because I spent a lot of time setting it up. I'm desperate not to disturb it. I want to fix it, but without disturbing it, because the time in resetting all this up is almost as much time as just bolting a motor on there. I'll just wind 4 M10 threads in here, or M12, with nuts on it. We'll make a platform for the motor to sit on. It'll be all good and solid. Right, I better stop waffling, and I will look forward to speaking to you in the morning. Good morning, YouTubers. It's Tuesday morning, bright and early. My dad's next door stripping engines. I've brought this in here, and we've got Glenneth in the workshop. How you doing, Glenneth?
I'm all right, man,
Good, yeah, wonderful. So do you want to tell us about this engine? In fact, can you show us some pictures?
Oh, crikey.
We've got an engine here, and you might spot straight away there's a few odd things, like the thrust washer is on the end of the cam, and there's no thrust there. And the reason for that is this engine runs back to front. So it's out of, what's it out of, a Fraser?
Fraser.
Oh look, we've got some pictures here. Go on, give us a zoom through. Look at that, it's a pretty little thing, isn't it? Wow. Is this as you bought it?
Yeah.
It looks like it might be rusty.
It's got lots of rust.
Crikey, is that the gear change mechanism on the
it's
back?
a gear change, yeah.
Look at that, that's mega, isn't it? Right, keep going, pal. Oh, so it sits with the engine in the middle of the car, and basically it's got a beam for a rear axle, and the gearbox hangs out the back. Wow, mega. Look at that.
That's it in its heyday.
In its heyday. It's a pretty little thing, isn't it? Who's that chap?
No idea.
Looks like Roger Nathan. Wow. Oh, I love old pictures like that with the Mini and the Moggy 1000 in the background. So is this actual car, or is this another finished version?
This is the actual car. There's only one built.
And it's a one-off?
Yeah. It was Alan Fraser apparently had it commissioned just for himself.
Really? Wow, well, we've got the engine here. Apparently it's a 998, but it's a curly edge. It was built by Ian Carter, you reckon?
I believe so, yeah.
Ian Carter sort of, it's obviously going to have to run backwards, because if you imagine in the imp, it hangs out the back of the car with the gearbox in front of it. So it's going that way, but now it's going that way, but with the gearbox in the same incline. So the gearbox isn't upside down, it's the correct way round. So the engine has to run backwards to give you 4 forward gears. So what they've done is, I was trying to work out how they've done the cam. And if you look, it's actually an imp cam in back to front. So that's the original thrust face, where the sprocket would have driven off. In fact, it's got the peg there for the dowel. And then what they've done is they've put another one on this end, which would have been the wrong end of the cam, because the engine's got to run backwards. But as you can see, it doesn't all quite line up properly, because, like, for example, if you look at that one there, you can see the lobe is really offset, because the imp, the way it works, the carrier isn't, it's got a bigger space here than it has there. Can you see it? So the whole lot is over. But we think we can get around this, because we've got some blanks here, some steel blanks that I picked up from Ian Carter's wife many years ago. So I'm hoping we can turn the lobes in the correct position and make a cab. Well, what we're going to do is we're going to take it apart and decide, aren't we? Because you've got a few things in your head at the moment. We're not sure 100% if we're going to stay with it running back to front, because it may just be easier, although it's not the correct way of doing it, to put the gearbox on upside down.
Yeah, I'm inclined to leave it the way it's running, but we want to see what's going on inside.
Yeah,
handle it.
Let's see what it looks like. What year was all this done?
I think the car was finished in 68 and road registered in 71.
Wow. So
Did about 3,000 miles according to clock, and I presume we're a new clock.
yeah.
And I think it spent 50 years steadily
Festering.
rotting.
Festering away. Yeah. Well, it's definitely been in a damp environment. We managed to get the spark plugs out, but I think they had the cam cover off, haven't they? It's all quite badly eaten. So we'll get it apart, and if we find anything exciting, we'll talk about it. That's the deal, isn't it? Okay, we've got the cylinder head off the engine. The camshaft is very different. Not quite sure what we're going to do there. I think Glenn's got the idea we're going to get a new one made, haven't we, Glenn?
Yeah.
You don't fancy that one, though?
No.
Unfortunately, Glenn, I'm really sorry to say it, but someone's nicked you 115cc.
Oh, rude.
125cc, sorry.
Rude.
Yeah, it's an 875, isn't it? Not in bad nick, though. The tops of the liners are great, aren't they? It's a good block, this, you know. Keep that, definitely. Probably would say, we'll take the sump off, look at what's happened with the gears at the front, and then we'll leave it as a short motor.
Yeah.
Because there's just no point taking it apart. Obviously, the head, let's put it back on again when we've got the bits at the bottom. It's just a Mark II head, isn't it? Oh no, it's a sport head. Hey up, 107. These sport valves. Yeah, they are, aren't they? Look small. I'm used to bigger valves. Right, well, we'll get the bottom end apart and see what we see, but it's in fairly good condition considering it's been sat outside for 30 odd years. Quick update, we've got it pulled apart, and yeah, it's very interesting, isn't it, Glenn?
Oh, yeah.
Very interesting. They've done quite a lot of work to make this go back to front, or run backwards, should I say. Normally the guide is bolted on this side, just here, but on this engine, they've welded a lug onto the inside of the timing cover, because obviously the tight side of the chain is on the opposite side now, with it going in the opposite direction. I've just got a new oil pump drive gear, and you can see the gear is cut the opposite way. You can't, it's like a screw thread, you can't turn it round. It's actually machined the wrong way. And it's the same goes for the skew on the end of the crankshaft. It's completely mirror reflection job. And obviously, same again, turning it over makes no difference. It's actually cut the opposite way. So we'll call it like a left-hand scroll, but yeah, probably quite hard to get all these parts should you need them, Glenn. But you know, luckily we've got one set, and they don't tend to wear, so luckily it is in bronze, so that's good. So what we'll do is we'll put these bits with your 1040 engine. I think you're going to take that home and give it somewhere safe to live, aren't you? Because the numbers match and stuff.
Yeah,
I imagine.
it's the original engine.
Original engine, so that'd be nice to keep. Nice sport head casting as well. Looks like it's completely unmolested, so that's a good thing to have. And then I'll just keep the goodie bits for your new engine, if that's all right.
Yeah.
And then we'll talk about what we're gonna do. You know, we'll get your box in now, because it's probably about 2 years since I stripped the 1040, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. At least, yeah. Sorry about that. Just been busy, but we'll make a point of getting this done, because do you reckon you'll be out this year with the car?
I'd like to think so.
Oh, that'd be good, wouldn't it? Excellent.
See how it goes.
Yeah, it's a very pretty car, but it's slippy shape as well.
Yeah. It's still in welding mode, and I've got a lot more to do still.
Well, you're enjoying yourself, aren't you? That's all that matters. So, yeah, Glenn's a doer, not a talker, so it will appear this season. I'm quite confident, as long as I can get the engine done. Right, we'll leave it at that. Thanks for talking to us, Glenn. Good morning. It's Wednesday morning, and very little video in yesterday. I had obviously Glenn in the morning, and then I had another chap, Steve, who picked up all of his sidecar bits there for it. He's going to build it all himself. I just supplied him a few bits and did a little bit of machine work on the head. So he took all that, but he wasn't keen on the YouTube, so we didn't mind for him. Anyway, this morning I was driving to work thinking, we need to get Bernie on rewiring the new motor on the borer on Thursday. So I thought, right, this morning what I'll do is I'll get all my blocks that I've got to sort out for rear oil seal conversions. You know, these are imp blocks, not B1 blocks. And what I'll do is I'll machine these this morning on the borer using the power drill attached to the top of it. And then at least that's that little bit of a job out of the way. So we're going to get the etcher out. I'm going to etch all the, this is Glenn's engine, so we'll etch it all, and then just what I'm saying is etch it for a name so I can see when it goes for blasting or whatever. And while I'm there, what I'll do is I'll etch the line as a reference some more. So we'll have 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4. And the reason I do that is at one stage we just used to blast the engines and then bore them. But with these old wet liner blocks, all three of these are old school wet liner blocks. These liners could have been in for like 30 years. And the Loctite has a shelf life, you know. So they sit in Loctite in the bottom sort of inch. So what we do is reference them all, so we go back in the same hole, and then we get the blocks in the oven, get them red hot, push the liners out, and then blast it all the block, clean it all, get rid of all the old Loctite, and then re-glue them all in. These are all three of these are 998. So what we'll do is, once the liners are all back in and set and hard and with fresh glue on them, so we know that we're not going to have any issues with the coolant making it from the water jacket into the sump, which is the issue why I'm doing this, because we just got caught out a couple of times where I'd rebuilt engines for people, and they say, oh, you know, I've got a bit of mixing, and I was like, must be a wheel string. But when I pressure tested one on the bench, we actually did it on YouTube many moons ago. It was for Jeff Peacock, and we could see water running down the inside of the block from the liner. So hence why I'm going to do all this, take all the liners out. So when we've reset them back in again and it's all gone hard, what we'll do then is we'll bore them to 73 mil. So they're 72.5 at the moment, which is 998. When they're 73, they become 1012 cc, and it just means we've got a nice parallel straight liner, all the stresses and all the messing about's been taking place, and it'll stay around basically. So that's the plan. Some of these engines aren't due out for a while, but we're going to just do it while we're set up, if you know what I mean. Because while I'm set up, it's easy to just put it on the machine, you know, half an hour later it'll be machined. So we'll do that because we've not even got a blaster yet. We've not got an air compressor. Another job that I've got to organise is I've got quite a few different new rods. These are new rods out of the new 930 engines. And what we're going to do is we use these in the racers now because they're unstressed and they're brand new, but they have an 11/16 size pin in them. So what I do is I post them to Mr. Rodwell, Stuart, down at Rodwell Motorsport, and he profile machines them, so he machines all around the outside of them, makes them lighter. Not over light, just nicely light, we'll say. And then he rebushes them with a proper bronze bush in it to suit the 5/8 piston, which is a lighter pin. And then he also shot pins them. So they come back and they look like a really nice rod. We used to just put steel rods in these, you know, from Farndon, but as Farndon have disappeared, or it was Robson retired. He didn't go bust, he retired and started doing something else. Oh, I think he's just retired and enjoying his life, so fair play to Carl. But we can't really justify putting Arrow rods in him because they're knocking on for double the cost of a set of Robson ones. So these work absolutely fine. They're a great rod. There is a few issues on them. I don't know if you can see here. All of the stresses and strains start in that corner there. Can you see that spot face? There's a spot face and it has a sharp corner. So if ever we see one of these that's failed, no heat in it, just burst, it's always the crack propagates from there. So what we do is when we send them to Rodwell, he Dremels all that, makes it all, he machines it basically, makes it all really nice and smooths it all off before shot blasting them, not shot blasting, shot peening them, and that sorts the job out. I've got one over here. I'll show you. This is the James Ibbotson one from off the line at Castle Coombe when it exploded. So you can see where the crack started. There's absolutely no heat in it whatsoever. It just burst in an instant and of course caused a massive failure. So that's when we started putting steel rods and everything. But as that's not an option to us anymore, these are the next best thing. And you know, I raced on steel rods for years. There's no problem with them, especially if we get them peened and lightened and all the jobs done, decent set of bolts in them. So that's the plan there. So I'm going to go through all these and we'll etch all these up as well, you know, A1, B1, C1 and all the rest of it. So they can go away and get machined and not worry about them getting mixed up, because these will be within half a gram of each other as standard. They're fantastically well balanced and they're balanced end to end. Right, I'll stop waffling, get on with some work. Update. We've got all the liners out of the old school wet liner blocks. So you can see the old Loctite, it's just gone brown. It's just through heat cycles and yeah, it's just ready for changing. So that's them three ready. That was particularly bad, isn't it? Look at it down there. So what we'll do is machine them for rear main oil seals at the back. So I'll put all the caps on. Everything's etched up, so we're not going to lose anything or get confused anywhere. And then they can go in the acid, ready to get the grease off them, so they can then go in the blaster. And then they'll have liners put back in, and then we'll bore them, put the timing covers on, deck them, and then they can go back in the box ready for build when we've got all the parts. I've gone through all my rods, so I've got a piston box now. These are all my 930 rods that I'm going to post away to Rodwell. I've got 8 sets there, and some of them are second hand, but some of them are brand new. And we'll keep the brand new ones for the racers and the second hand ones for the roadies. And Stuart can do his magic there with all of those. We'll better order some ARP bolts as well while we're at it. So we'll get them in the post today. I'm going to go outside and start doing some machining, but we have got Alex and Jenny due here shortly, so hopefully we can grab a word. I've got Alex and Jenny in the workshop, and we've been putting the world to rights for about half an hour, haven't we? Yeah. And I said, let's just do a quick interview. So they very kindly agreed to talk to us, and you might recognise them because you've got the Facebook page, which is called Impish Adventures, and these guys live on the south coast or thereabouts, and you drive all the way to Doon in Scotland.
Yeah, we do Doon about 3 times a year.
You're not shy of a journey, are you?
No, it's just, you make the
Even
country.
to see you.
You make the.
Yeah, it's a good journey to come here, isn't it? Crikey. What time do you set off this morning?
6 o'clock.
Wow.
You make the country smaller by making a bit of effort.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good point, yeah. See, most of my friends that I grew up with, if they leave like the 2 mile radius of Sale, then they get like a nosebleed. They get all nervous, yeah. Manchester Airport's about the biggest.
We have the cattle grids in the New Forest.
Oh, right,
If
catches
you go
them.
over the cattle grids, then you're lost. It's like being lost at sea.
Lost at sea, brilliant. I love it. Well, the engine's back. This is the engine we rebuilt for them last year, and unfortunately, it's got a couple of little issues. One of them was sort of not controllable. We think the port's gone porous, don't we?
Yeah. It used to smoke before you built it last year, and now it's taken up vaping.
Vaping, yeah.
So it's another evil which we need to iron out.
Yeah, 'cause I remember you rang me and you sent me a picture of the car and it was like it's steaming out the back, and I'm thinking, oh, what's going on there? And you said, I'm just loading it on the trailer to go. Where are you going? You're going racing.
That would have been Wiscombe, I think.
Yeah.
Wiscombe.
Wiscombe in September. Because we only had it on.
Twice after you
out
built
twice.
it.
Yeah, and I remember saying to you, has anything else happened, Alex? And you said, funnily enough, there's a little pool of antifreeze on the floor in the garage. And then you looked and you said, it's stripping out the carburettor. So because the carburettor is downhill of the port, if I can try and show you, if they have a port issue, the coolant runs this way and then it drips out the bottom or out the trumpet at the end. So what I think's happened is, because the head was quite nice, the head that you've got on it, I think it's quite big, and they get something called core shift, which is where the coolant jacket isn't always in the same position relative to the port, so it can be a bit thin in places, and it's just, on idle, it's just drawing a tiny dribble of antifreeze through and burning it, and that's why you're getting the steam. Hence, when you set off, it clears and it's okay.
Yeah, it absolutely flies.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I was loving reading about your results and having fun with it, which is what it's all about, having fun, isn't it? And
yeah,
of course, the barbecue
I'm
afterwards.
Absolute ball with it, and we're so close now. It's,
Yeah. No, I really look forward to seeing that here how you get on this year. Well, I'll sort this out quite quickly, and then we'll get you back sorted.
Yeah, it's one of those unknown things, isn't it? Because you never really know when that's going to happen. The head has been built for years and years and years.
Yeah, it's just
quite elderly now, so
yeah.
It's inevitable that these things, like having a hole in your tooth, isn't it?
Yeah, well, what happens is, like you've noticed, we were discussing it before. I was trying to explain that when you're on idle, you've got massive vacuum in the inlet manifold, but it's not just a vacuum because you're on a single choke per cylinder. On a single carb engine, you've got like a general vacuum because you've got each cylinder sucking at a different point. But on a single carb choke per cylinder, it's like a pulse. So when it tries to suck, when it goes down against the closed throttle and idle, it's a real draw, it's a pulse, and that's when it'll be in the. I know exactly where it'll have gone.
So this is the pulse. This is the other thing you're talking about, isn't it?
Sorry.
This is the other thing you're talking about, isn't it?
Oh no, we've got two. We're still
on
on the steam, yeah.
Sorry, okay.
So
I'm confused.
The steam is they're both to do with vacuum in the port.
Right.
So we have got another problem. We'll come to that in a sec. But yeah, no, you're right. We are. Yeah, I'm just confused. I'm good at confusing the simplest of things. So
Not difficult.
obviously the steam
Yeah.
then gets burnt in the exhaust, but it stays in the exhaust, so you end up with a lot of steam until you're giving it a good blast. But luckily you were able to get some was it Radweld you put in it? Or?
Yeah, we put some. It was one of those ones that you recommended. K-Seal.
K-Seal, that's it. Yeah. So
you did a little thing that was just perfect amount. Solved the problem straight away.
Excellent.
And gave us quite a bit of confidence actually for those two races. You just thought, yeah, that's sorted. That's done what it's supposed to do.
Brilliant. Well, we'll clean all the coolant jacket out, but I'll make a sleeve to go inside the port, and it's like I make a sleeve slightly bigger, and I put a slot in it, so you slide it in, and then it opens out. But we'll put Defcon around the outside of it. It sounds rough, but when it's all tidied up, you can barely tell it's there, and it'll never be a problem again, unless another one goes. But that's unlikely that you'll get two lots of bad luck like that. Yeah. It's pretty rare. And the other problem we have, is the engine. It does smoke if you leave it idling, doesn't it? But the guides are minting it. I didn't actually put guides in it because I remember they were like new. But what I suspect is happening, which will confirm, I'll do it all on the Shrigleytube, is sometimes if the guides have been pushed out in the past and they haven't got the head hot enough, or if the guide has got a lot of carbon on it, as the guide goes through the head, it broaches on the outside and it scores the bore. So when you put the new guide in, them little score marks, when we've got it on idle again, and you've got big vacuum in inlet, because there's a lot of oil inside the cam box, it draws the oil down the outside of the guide. That's the only explanation, because it's on new pistons, fresh bore, new valves, everything's new, there's no play in everything, so it has to be
The things
that
we haven't touched.
the thing. Yeah, yeah. This is why
So there's a lesson there. isn't there?
I always say, don't leave a rock unturned, because we had the liners out of it, didn't we, and we glued the liners in and everything. And there you go. But
Yeah, when you're in there,
live and learn.
do everything.
It'll be head off job. We'll sort it. I'll get it sorted next couple of weeks for you, and then you'll be on your way and all sorted.
Well,
Anyway,
we're not racing until April. So
April. Oh, you're waiting for the sun to come out.
Oh yeah, there's no rush, mate. Get tomorrow.
Don't never say no rush to an engine builder.
Yeah, I know.
Not a busy one. I'll stop waffling. Thanks for talking to us anyway,
It's all right,
and I'll let you get. Oh, we were just talking, and I didn't know if you minded talking about it. You were very excited because you've got a Singer and you've got a crankshaft made for it. Apparently, is it a Singer 9? You say?
It's a 1933 Singer 9 Le Mans.
Wow.
Toddling along the road in 2020, and the crank just expired. You know.
Snapped.
Yeah,
And you
so
did
that's
say,
an
how many
8
bearings has it got?
2 bearings.
2 mains, one at each end.
Two mains. It's a skipping rope essentially.
A skipping rope.
Skipping rope on a crank. And it's 8 years old, so it just expired. It still ran and still drove.
90 years old, you say?
80 years old.
80 years old, wow.
1933. So you could still drive it, but it sounded like a 12-year-old in a dustbin with a
With a lump
baseball
hammer.
bat. It was very noisy.
Yeah, I can't imagine there's much control on it with one bearing.
So yeah, we had a crank remade. It had to be custom made because the hole in the edge of the engine isn't big enough for a counterbalance to go in.
Oh, it slides in, does it, from
so
one
it's
end?
what you call a bent wire crank, so it literally just does that.
Oh, wow.
And so a brilliant engineer has designed a crank with counterbalances, which goes through a tiny hole. It's a little bit smaller than that.
Wow.
And we had to wait a year for that.
Yeah,
to be made in Belgium.
Wow. Well, at least you've got it now. I look forward to seeing
and
it.
it does make the imp crank look like a stalwart of.
Yeah, well, the imp crank's awesome, isn't it? I mean, standard imp crank.
Absolutely incredible what it can do.
Yeah.
Without actually doing anything to it.
I know. Well, I spin them up at 540 RPM on the lathe to machine them, and I look at how fast they go, and I just think it's not even idling.
Yeah, what can it take?
Yeah, well, it's just absolutely mental, isn't
So
it?
when they're building a new one, they X-ray it at every stage of machining. So
Do they really?
So it's a billet steel. They cut the blank, they X-ray it, scan it, check the integrity of the molecular structure.
Is it EN40B? Is it?
Yeah,
Or?
something like that.
Yeah,
And then they do the next bit of machining and they X-ray it again.
Right.
Do the heat treatment, X-ray it again. Every stage is X-rayed. It just takes forever. If you YouTube a crank grinding machine, it's a massive machine. It's the size of this room.
A Prince.
And it takes so long. Slow,
I'd love to own one day.
Yeah, they're just incredible. The engineering in that is just something else. So
If you ever
having
get
a crank
bored.
built, and you're in it, that's the territory of a vintage car. When it breaks, there's nobody going to make it.
No, you can't get the
There's
part off the shelf.
There's 3 people making it.
Wow.
If you don't invest in that skill, nobody will be able to have one. Nobody will be left to do them. If you don't ask people to do these jobs,
Yeah,
they'll
you're
never
right.
be available.
Oh, good for
So
you.
kind of like, oh God, that's a commitment I made.
Well, I'm sure it'll be worth it. I'm sure it'll be worth it.
I mean,
If you ever get spare time on YouTube, if you type in like Pakistani or Indian crankshaft manufacturer, they make the crank. They've got them Prince grinders, and they make the cranks, and they also get 2 broken crankshafts, and they peg them together and weld them. You can't believe the skills. And they don't even have safety boots on; they have sandals on.
Yeah, that's right. Flip flops.
And when they're working, they don't have a bench. They like squat down.
Yeah, it's incredible.
It's just
what
like-
they produce is just genius. They still do it. It's because they do it all the time.
Yeah. Well, they've got the manpower, haven't
They've
they?
never stopped doing it.
And they've got all our old machines.
Yeah, that's right. By all the stuff that we throw out.
Yeah.
Been skip diving here for years.
Wow. Wonderful. Right, thanks for speaking to us, and I look forward to seeing you soon.
Yeah, cheers.
Okay, chaps, quick update. I've machined the backs of all my blocks now, so what I'm going to do, it's only 3:30. That's a good time. So we're on late night shift tonight, so I've got lots of stuff that I want to do in the build room, but what I want to do first is that motor we talked about the other day, that one there, off the Jones and Shipman, the hydraulic pump motor. I need to mount that vertically there so we can get a chain drive off here. So that is going to be my next task to do. So I'll make a start, and if I find anything interesting to talk about, I'll stop and make a video. Wednesday early evening, and about to start doing my motor conversion for the borer. And I swept up, just in case you were wondering. But Bernie set me a task. He said, could you hang your light where you want it? I wanted a light over these two machines so I could get really good light on them, you know? I said, yeah, I've got some chain, I'll do that. I don't want you on the ladders again. Because bearing in mind, Bernie's fixed all these lights up with LEDs. So I just want to say, the guy must have absolutely amazing balance, because I was on my tiptoes on this bit here, and everything was going to jelly trying to reach the roof. It was awful. I did not like it. I won't be going up there again in a hurry, and I certainly won't be letting Bernie go up there, that's for sure. This is the motor I propose to use to drive the borer. I was going to throw it in scrap because it was on the Jones and Shipman, but I couldn't bring myself to do it. So I broke it out of the place, literally. You know, the casting snaps and stuff, but I couldn't do the bolts, so the hammer to take over. But I knew that the main motor would be okay. So I've just stripped it down. It has a nice drive on the front with a 3/8 chain. I've ordered a 48 tooth chain, which will be about 160 diameter. But I'm thinking of using an imp sprocket to slow it down even more, so we get the torque. Now, obviously, I've got to face that up in the lathe, and then what we'll do is we'll bore the end of this to let it in nicely, and then it'll all be dead true basically, and then we can either weld it or grub screw it or do something. Yeah, I think we'll have to weld it because I've not got enough depth to start doing grub screws and things. Now, I'll give this a bit of a service while I'm here, because as you can see, the grease is a bit horrible. It's just been left hanging around for a long time. So I don't know if we're going to be able to utilise this piece because of the way it mounts. It may be ideal to actually mount that to the machine first and then just bolt the motor to that. In fact, that could be the answer, you know, because yes, in fact it would, because we could get this set up on the machine nice and straight, because it's going to go on that angled piece of cast. We'll get that mounted straight, and then we can just launch that straight on there later date. Right, that's what we'll do. We'll get this cleaned up, trim it up a little bit, and get that mounted. There's a nice big thick piece of cast that we can tap into it, no problem. And then we'll look at making the nose drive. Giving it a bit of a clean up so we can use this. I think this will be quite a useful piece of material to bolt to the machine, and then we'll bolt the motor to that. But I just found this in the lid of the electrics, folded up neatly, was the wiring diagram for different ways of wiring it up, and I thought, wow, a proper quality bit of probably 1960s quick kit that it'll probably outlast me. I've got to be honest, the bearings aren't the smoothest. I think it's had a bit of watcher in there at some point, but I've greased them up, so hopefully they'll last a bit longer. Quick update on the plate to mount the motor. I've just used my new, well, it feels like new, pedestal drill with the two-way switch on it. Absolutely bliss. Well done, Bernie. And then over here, I'll show you how this mounts. So this is going to go on here like that. So it's got to stick up quite high because the motor's quite high. So we'll get these 3 bolts in here now. I'll drill and tap into here in 3 places and put some threads in it, and then we'll mount that, and we can level it then on nuts and bolts on the threaded bar. There's the threaded bar I've got for it. And it should all work swimmingly. Schoolboy error. I drilled 2 of my holes, and then the battery went flat on my drill, so because the battery's on charge now, so I thought, while we're giving that 15 minutes on the charger, what I'll do is I'll put the nose in the chuck, clock it up. I'm going to turn it and face it, and then I know that that is bob onto that, so I'm just not sure because it's not been done by me and I don't know who did it. So what I'll do is I'll then do the same image, like a mirror image in here. So I'll do an indent, go in with the boring bar and turn a recess so that it can go together and be definitely true, if you know what I mean. So that's the plan anyway. So I'll just quickly get a tool change on this, and we'll turn it and then get this in and clock it up and off of that. Giving that like literally a 5 top turn just to there, just so I can get a bit of weld prep area. What we'll do is we'll turn a recess into here. I put a big chamfer on the OD, then you can see it, that's so it doesn't get stuck in the corner, so it definitely sits on the flat face. We can always glue it first if you want, so we can make sure it's contacting, or use some grease or something. And then what we'll do is we'll squeeze the pair together with a G-clamp and weld them. And that will mean that it's, you know, it's hard against its face and it stays flat. So when we build it all up again, what I don't want to do, why I'm going to this trouble, is if we end up with a shimmy on the chain, it'll pull the chain tight and slack, you know, as it goes in and out of phase. And we don't want that, because it'll upset the cut on the miller. You know, when we're boring, it's really important that the drive is smooth, if that makes sense. I've seen it before, it's a weird thing. You get like a pattern in the bore, so I'm really keen to keep it nice. In fact, we could probably run the chain with a slack side. Maybe we could use an imp tensioner to take up the slack so that it's all nice and smooth, so the drive's good on it. We could also possibly put a brace between here and there, because we've got various locations where this is braced already to make sure it doesn't get a vibration on, but we could always make it better. Quick update, I've made me index for that, so that drops in there nicely. And what we'll do is we'll clamp it up and I'll weld it tomorrow, but I can't do it now because it's too late to start welding. Over here, my battery's recovered on my charger, on my battery drill, so what I've done is I've put some M12 threads into the actual casting there, lock them in with lock nuts, and then I've reversed nuts on the other side, which has allowed me to set it up. So I've got it dead straight to the machine, so we can come off that tomorrow. We can mount the motor. There's plenty of elongation here, so we can adjust the motor this way and this way so that it's all in line with the chain. And hopefully by the time our friend Bernie arrives, I'll have something for him to work with, like he can wire it up. You know, we're not going to have the speed controller, but if we can just get it on a three-phase plug so it actually works, that would be a major result. So we'll see where we get to. I'm going to call that success. I'm actually quite pleased with myself. It looks bob on. I mean, obviously it's rough as toast, but the best bit was, you know, I said the bearings are quite horrible on it. Oh, they still hear them, but they're a lot smoother. I fitted new grease nipples, top and bottom, and pumped a load of fresh grease until the old grease came out. It's a lot nicer. And I thought I'd better do a bit of maintenance on the old gearbox on this. This is the obviously the Van Norman. Now I do know that this gear here is the one that controls the traverse, and it's got a fair bit of backlash on the worm there. In fact, if you look, you can see the teeth are quite worn on it. So we'll scoop that grease out and put a bit of fresh in, and hope for the best. Just be gentle on it with the cuts, because if that gear fails, that bronze gear, the old job's scrap. There's nothing you can do with them apart from send them away for reconditioning, which is more expensive than buying a new one. So there you go. We've got all that ready for Bernie in the morning so he can do his wiring. The only thing I've discovered is when I actually looked at the tag on the side, it's a 1/4 horsepower and it runs at 1425 RPM. And I'm sure Bernie said that was 1400 RPM as well. So rather than down gearing it, we're going to need to one-to-one it. So we might end up with 2 imp sprockets on it yet. So that might have all been a waste of time putting this on the end of here. But anyway, we'll work it out tomorrow morning. It's Thursday morning, and yeah, I'm trying to think about ways of getting this up and running before Bernie gets here. I've started to make a bush. What we'll do is I'm going to split that bush because that is too big. It just rattles around. So we need to make this little sleeve here. I'm going to split it in 2 with a hacksaw, and then we can piece it back around at the bottom there. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to machine or grind 2 flats on here, and then do a minimal size groove in here for it to slide over. I should take the machine apart, but I have tried to take one of these apart before, and all this mechanism, and it's just not, it's not simple, and I don't really want to disturb any of it if I can help it. For what I'm going to do with it, realistically, it's not going to bother it, the size of that shaft and the amount of power it transmits. If I put 2 flats on it, it shouldn't bother it in the slightest, and it won't affect its operation. So we'll do that, I think, and try and get this gear on. Then what we'll do is we'll have to get it all set up, and we'll just spot weld it in place. See, that's the easiest way of just getting it functional again, I think. We could grub screw it, I suppose, into that boss, but Just not sure how it'll last long term. We'll see how we get on anyway. Okay, it's 10 o'clock. The main man's been here for half an hour grafting, haven't you, Bernie?
Well, I would say grafting is such.
He's a grafter. Just came in, doesn't even want a brew, just gets stuck in. I made him one anyway. But he's gonna wire this up for me. I'm actually quietly sort of impressed with myself here. I had to grind a little slot and then just square file it so that I could keep this slot, you know, within a tooth. Didn't want it to interfere too much with the chain, but I don't think it does. So what we'll do next is, that's the split bush, you know, the one that I made to bridge the diameter. So I just hacksawed it in two and then slipped it over, and that goes in and it comes out the other side there, so you can see it's fully supported. So hopefully, if we just get the welder and just try and neatly tack it, that should be enough to hold it all whilst we test it out. Yeah, I think it could actually work, this, Bernie. And Bernie's found a switch to put in here, so if we put breakers on it, the original stop mechanism where basically this comes down, what it used to do was, as it comes down, if we lock it up, you'll see, as the stop came down and hit that, it used to turn on the screw and flick the switch and knock it off. So if we can keep it as intended, how it used to work, obviously I'll be fitting a full chain guard on it. Andy's not turned up, and look at you.
Said that.
And you just walked in, mate.
You know,
I'm so honoured. Did you have a nice Christmas and New Year?
has it been that long?
Mate, it has. Is this your first job since before Christmas?
Yeah, I just started my house before. Yeah. So,
You look tired, are you alright?
Yeah.
Have you been poorly?
no, I've been doing my drains.
Drains.
Yeah, I got it inspected on Tuesday. I've been trying to put everything back together for the last 2 days.
Well done, mate, well done.
Yeah, it looks like the Somme is what it was described as.
Mate, it's so nice to have you here. I've got a list of jobs for you to do.
I've got it. Got it. Thank you.
Oh, send you a
I
WhatsApp
watched
video.
I watched your WhatsApp video. Some people could just send a list, you know. But
No.
I guess we live in the modern world, don't we? Where, you know,
It
what's
was
the use
easier,
of making
it
a
was
small
quicker.
paper list?
Make a small video and just
Yeah,
show you
make a
what
small video and
Imagine trying to explain all the jobs that I gave you in that 2-minute video. Mate, let's just talk about me for a second. What do you think of my new setup here? How good's that? That's the motor out of the Jones and Shipman.
Yeah,
I
that's
like
meant
it.
that.
It's good, that, isn't it?
Are
I
you
thought
using
so.
any of the rest of the machine, or is it is it just like a lump of steel with it?
No, it's just the motor drive to make the borer work, because we're sort of stagnated. We need to bore blocks and we can't because
Have
we've
you
got.
done any jobs?
Yeah,
Oh, have you?
I did a week's work last week. This week's been terrible, but last week was really good.
Actual brilliant.
Yeah, got some jobs in the out tray. Well, not actually in the out tray, but closer to the out. Ouch. Right. Yeah. I even fitted a new light. Look at that.
I can see it. Does the fan still work?
Yeah, and
It's a
it.
bit closer.
I know, but I engineered it so that it misses the. Yeah, because I wanted the light directly in the centre of where I stand doing my machinery. So we'll get that powered up in a bit. Right, I'll stop waffling and make you a cup of tea. It's the big time. Bernie's got the switch there. We're just testing at the moment to see if it actually rotates.
Temporary connection.
A temporary connection, this. It's just to see what happens. Okay, Bernie. Oh. Get that. Set the traverse. Oh, everything's working. That's going round. Brilliant, that, mate. And the speed looks pretty good as well. A little bit slower than before. That's fine. Just thought I'd pause to make a video to show what absolute Andy heaven I'm in. We've got the octopus machine out of the big red van. We've got the little dyno out of the workshop ready to go in a big red van. Andy is put some ramps down with some special grit here because we had a bit of a wheel spin issue with the Sacker truck. That is going to be my steam cleaning area where we're going to put sides on it so we can contain the water, because we're not on main sewer here. Everything goes into the septic tank, so we can't have any TFR going in it. Where are you going, Andrew?
Go with it.
Mate,
I'm making a cup of tea.
I'm just showing the viewers
I'm trying to get through a sensible list of jobs.
what an absolutely bliss day we've had for progress.
It's been amazing.
I mean, I don't know who to do first. I'm just going to do Bernie for a second. Bernie, let's just look at this absolute masterpiece. In fact, I'll come round here. Bernie has managed to wire in, and I've learnt this new word. It's called a contactor. This contactor now is connected to the original on-off switch. So it has an on-off switch here, right next to that nice safe chain that spins round. And when this hits the stop, so obviously when the machine traverses down to the bottom of the bore, it hits that, and if you watch what happens, it flicks that little switch around there and turns itself off. So it's just like how it was originally intended, Bernie, but better.
Hopefully better.
If this was a quarter of a horsepower, and I could get a 20 thou cut on quite comfortably in cast iron, and what size motor do you reckon this is? Half a horsepower or 3/4?
I would say it's above quarter, but not quite half.
Not quite half. So there's a potential that we're going to have more.
Three-phase, so
Yeah, it's three-phase.
Single-phase.
It's got some more beans. That's what he's saying. So, mate, that's absolutely amazing. Thank you. You are one clever man. That is, to say the least. Right. And this is where Octopus Machine is going, Andy.
Just here?
In the next half an hour, yeah.
Right, okay.
Mate, you're drinking out of Bernie's cup.
You gave me in Bernie's mug before.
Did I? Wasn't me, mate. I didn't do that. Bernie, I'm so sorry for what's happened.
I
Yes.
love that it says not scrap.
Not scrap. Yeah, that. Cheeky, aren't they? Right, Andy. Andy's work's just as important as. Oh, mate, look at me. Is this like males, females, and not sure what you want to be?
It's a trans-friendly loo.
A trans-friendly loo. I like that, mate. We've got to cater for all types in this modern world.
Hey, check the mechanism on the door. It's beautiful. You can get.
Oh my god, mate! This is off one of the original toilet doors in the workshop. It's authentic.
Authentic, yeah.
Let me just see if I can lock this. Oh, you even notched it out. Oh, it works. Oh, it does work. Look at that.
Hey, like everything you've got, everything's got a little bit of a. You've got to fiddle it, but you make it work.
Yeah, you've got to twiddle it to make it work. Yeah, it's a bit that way. And then in this room, which is the engine strip down room, we had a big void here where all the air was coming up and making it very drafty. So Andy cemented that in. So we've had big progress. It just feeds my eyes there. Makes me happy looking at my V8 Husky project. I just look forward to the day that I've got enough customer work out of the way that the phone doesn't give me loads of earache and I can jump back on it and put it in. But it'll be summertime soon, so it'll be easier then when they're all out racing. Anyway, better get Bernie's brew made and start moving stuff. Are you excited, Andy, about moving the Octopus Machine in? Are you as excited as me?
If the traffic wasn't so bad, I'd be going home.
Oh, God. Okay, chaps, it's Thursday evening. It's Bernie's home time. I've got to say, have you got any Factor 25 to come with that that sun strip there, mate? It's bright down here. Bernie, every time you come here, you excel. But today, you've got me up and running so I can carry on in business. And that is absolutely outstanding. So thank you very much. The machine, we've just been messing about. I don't know if you can see in there. Normally we do a 20 thou cut. That's a 30 thou cut. She just minces through it. Watch this. So has Heidi got a good tea on for you tonight, Bernie?
I've no idea.
Oh,
Probably
mate.
egg and chips tonight.
Egg and chips, oh, I'll make sure she got some on it for you as well. Mate, that's absolutely stunning. Thank you very much. Yeah, put that on now. Just checking the limit switch on it. Has it got like a saver or something? Is it a trip out, is it?
Yeah.
Just so if it gets too much load, it'll knock it off. But yep, we're up and running. We can actually get through some blocks and get them ready for liners now, which is a massive relief for me because it's the end of play on Thursday. We're busy next door doing some polishing of some wet concrete they put down. I've had a mega day thanks to Bernie and Andy, so dead pleased with that. We're in business now. We can start doing liners. You can see that one's just about ready to come through. You can see the outside of the liner is like serrated so that it can't drop, so, or ribbed or whatever you call it. So that's we started that, but what happened was I was doing that and I thought, hang on, and I've got my Octopus Machine in here. Last half an hour, everyone's gone home, a little bit of a treat. I thought, let's just give them a wipe down. I've just done it with like a bit of old petrol and a rag, it was covered in grime. Look at the quality of this beast. It's absolutely awesome. I love it. So I've been looking at how it works. It's really easy. We've got an RPM gauge here. This is your drive. That's your pointer. These are your degrees, so 30 degrees, 40 degrees. And I'll just use a strobe light, you know. And the way it works is this slides up and down. So that whole thing moves. It's just a clamp. So you wind that handle, it comes down. This one goes up and down. It's just so we can find centre. You see it go up and down? Just so we can find centre with a dizzy. I was inside here looking around having a mooch, and I found this in the corner. And I don't think this has been used for distributor testing. I think it's been used for testing alternators and starter motors. So I imagine you put your dizzy in there, you clamp it down, obviously it'll be a bit further up, clamp the dizzy down, go get it on centre, we'll make a nice drive to drive it off there, and then you start the motor up. Imagine the motor runs at one speed, maybe 2000 RPM or something, and you wind, this is the speed control, it actually tells you how it works. Turn hand wheel whilst motor is, do not turn hand wheel while motor is stopped. That's because, do you remember I just talked about it briefly? It's like a daft varimatic, so it has giant cones, and these cones contract on this contraption here in the middle, which is splined. So as one gets bigger, the other gets smaller, so you get like a double gearing effect, and it has that giant motor at the bottom drives it. But the output speed is obviously separate to the input speed because it's driven off those belts. So inside here it says 7 grease points. We've got all lovely, that's the mechanism that operates the slider that decides whereabouts the position of the belts go. Yeah, it's mega. It's absolutely mega. I love it. What, can you imagine how much it would have cost for something like this back in, I don't know, when would it have been really popular? 60s, 70s, when everything had like a 12 ACR alternator that lasted about 2 years and then snuffed it. So everyone was putting alternators out scrapyards on cars because that's what you had to do. It's an Octopus electrical test bench Mark II. Beautiful. I just can't wait for Bernie to wire it up, and we'll get a dizzy on it. And obviously, the reason I'm so excited is this will give me the opportunity to have. I've got the dizzies working half decent, but if we can get them working a little bit better by being able to tune it on here and, you know, set the RPM and make little changes, because obviously the dizzy will be poking out here, so we can change springs and change weights and do what we've got to do to make it work. Yeah, very exciting for me. Anyway, I'll stop getting excited about my Octopus machine, and I'll say tomorrow morning, bit of a mess about because I have to go to Moss Road and start emptying the unit on the side, as landlords ran me and said I need to get out of it by the end of the month, really. So next month, February. So we'll go there. I've got some posts to pick up, and we'll fill the Passat boot full. So I'll join you in the morning. It's Friday morning. I didn't do any video in at Moss Road because it was I was trying to get in and out of there before the traffic got really bad, but I got it all wrong and got stuck in the traffic anyway. I filled the back of the Passat full of treasure from the unit, which is just basically full of old wheels and tyres. And I've donated these tyres here, which I've had hanging around forever. They're 14-inch, they're never going to fit in him. For my mate, he's got an XR3. He's in this garage behind. We're going to try and grab a chat. Very kindly agreed to show us around his toy collection. Clive taught me through the collection, mate. We have interviewed you before at Alton Park when you just come off track, do you remember?
Possibly with this car here,
yeah.
Share with a good friend, yeah.
Andy Jones, his name is.
Yeah.
It's not me, it's another guy called Andy Jones, but he can drive.
He's known as Fast Jones.
Fast Jones. What's this?
We've not seen this one before, have
oh,
we? We saw
mate.
the black one last time.
Oh, you've got 2 Sierra Cosworths?
Yeah, 2, yeah.
Oh, mate, I'm
Only
so
by
jealous.
accident.
Did you build this yourself, lean-to?
Yeah, well, with some help from a joiner that knew what he was doing, yeah.
Wow,
We
it's
had to put all the
awesome.
trees back in the
Yeah.
That's a broken engine. That's Brands Hatch.
Oh, is that
engine
Brands
for
Hatch?
that, yeah.
What happened? Is that the one that got warm?
Overheated, yeah.
Overheated. Is it true that Andy did the whole of practice with no watering?
Yeah, it was his fault.
It's all his fault. What's this, a motorbike?
Yeah, it's 1000cc.
Looks dangerous.
It is, it's a bit loud with that. It's the GT.
Oh, man.
The other day.
Is this the 16 valve?
Yeah.
Oh, mate, I love these.
The
A jelly mould. It's open.
It ran for a minute and then
Stopped.
stopped. Realised the fuel pipe that comes out of the tank to the pump.
Yeah.
A little squirrel had a nibble at it.
Oh, no, it's got an air in it.
So it was just when every time I pressed that, it was just drawing air. So
Right.
put it on the ramp, found it, put some new hose on it, Boom.
Oh, mate.
New battery, obviously.
These are awesome cars.
So,
I absolutely love these.
Second-hand headlamp in it. A bit rough around the edges.
It's got the teardrops on it.
Yeah. Got a bit of rust getting in there.
Has it got, on the digital rev counter, is it the tick or is it the full radius?
On the rev counter.
You know the rev counter, there's two different types.
It's a tick.
It's a tick, is it?
Yeah.
What is it on it? Oh, it's a J, it's a late one. Yeah, I think the early ones were a full radius. On the E or something, E and F when it first came out.
Yeah.
Oh, a Renault 5 Turbo.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that. These were awesome as well.
Took the carburettor off and sent it away because it had repairs.
Oh, it's left Uca. You've got all these of France in this.
Yeah.
Wow, look at that. You forget how simple and how diddy they were.
Yeah. Well, it's got no carbon at the minute, but it should be back soon.
I had one of these. Oh, you see, you've got a zip tie around there. On there.
Here, yeah.
Yeah, I had one of these and we wound the boost up on it the first night I got it. And it started going slowly. And I was like, oh, what's going on? And it had blown the end off the intercooler. It unpicked itself, you know, where it's like, it was like clamped on the end of the intercooler and it had blown it off, yeah. They did the head gasket. They're a funny engine, these, you know. It was like, I don't know what they call it, like a monoblock or something, where Renault made one casting for 1100s and 1400s. What it did was, you put different liners in them, so it's an iron block with iron liners.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, so you just put a different liner in, all the same block height.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they were prone for going, weren't they, and overheating?
Yeah, well, the thing was, whenever you take the head off them, never turn them over, because the liners come out of the sockets in the and then all the water drains into the sump, and the O-ring all gets disturbed. Yeah, look at that. Well, mate, thanks. We've got one more to see in your collection. Probably one of my favourites if it was standard. But the XR3.
Yeah.
Is this what's the plan for the XR3?
Me and Alan Turner are going to have a little track day in it. And
Nigel?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, he's invested in it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's an XR challenge car and it's quite well known apparently.
Yeah, it looks awesome, mate.
Yeah.
It looks awesome.
A bit low, cause flat tyre and some stuff in the boot.
Yeah, that's how it's space, isn't it?
You just ordered a new one of them actually.
See,
that's a bit dicky.
Is it? They get moisture in, don't they? Yeah, get a
Yeah, I've got some new calipers for it, new bottom arms. Yeah, just give it a run over really.
I look forward to seeing that. Right, Clive, you're an absolute gent. Thanks for talking to us.
Bye.
Okay, finally made it to work. It's like 10:30 on Friday morning. And I was thinking to myself, what could we do that was going to make some half interesting content for Shrigleytube on Sunday nights? I thought, well, rather than bore blocks all day, which we'll probably do all day Monday, is what I'll do is I'll pull Alex and Jenny's engine apart, because we need to find out A, where the coolant is entering the cylinder via the port, and B, where the oil is entering the engine to make it smoke on idle. So 2 problems got to be fixed. Start by taking the cylinder head off. If anything exciting happens, I will report back. We're just on with stripping the Alex and Jenny engine, and unfortunately all the ports seem uniform. So when they've put the K-seal in, wherever the leak was on the inlet port or exhaust port, I suspect inlet port though, it's now sealed. So we're gonna have to get our magnifying glass out and try and work out where the issue is, because at the moment I can't see it. There is a look down there. Oh, you probably can't see it. I'll get a torch. There is a wet patch on the roof of the port. See the guide there? The guide looks very moist to me. So I think we've got an issue with the oil coming down the guides. We'll have to pull them out to be sure, but we'll do that together shortly. But there's nothing massively obvious. You know, normally when we've got one cylinder that's got moisture entering, it steam cleans the exhaust port, but we haven't got that. So we'll have to keep digging. I took it all apart very carefully and everything's marked up so that I've I've centre potted the position of the cam relative to everything, because I need this engine to go back exactly as it was if we're not going to dyno tester it, so that we can make sure it stays in the same tune, because it was in quite a good state of tune. So, right, let's get the head off and see if we can work out what's going on with this head. Okay, I've removed the cylinder head. Very pleasing to see it's sealed perfectly and it's fairly uniform in the colour of the cylinders across, so it's running quite nicely. It is definitely a bit wet though with oil, so looking in here I can't see anything. Potentially number 4 has got more oil hanging around than the rest, but you can actually see the oil. I'm surprised it wasn't smoking when it was flat out, because you can see it in the bottom of the cutout there. Anyway, we're not going to stress about that. It may well have just had a bit of a gentle run before it got took out. But it's all looking quite good, and it's nice to see an engine in good condition, man. It hasn't done much. But what we'll do is get this head stripped now and get the guides out, and then I'll report back and see if we can work out what exactly is going on. Okay, it's nearly the end of play on Friday. I'm just going to go outside and get set up for machining on Monday morning. But I wanted to get a bit of a definitive answer with this cylinder as to where it was going. So I've had my glasses on, had a right good route around it, and I'm pretty pleased to say I think I've found both problems. We've certainly found one of them, which was the water ingress. It was on number 4 cylinder, so I'll show you the hole in a second. But I pushed the guides out. The guides were all tight, but I don't know if you could be able to pick up on it, but there was, if you look in some of the holes, there's quite a lot of scraping. Oh, it's not bad. It's not easy to see it from here. Yeah, can you see the scrape lines in the side of the bore? That's where the oil finds its way down. This here is one of the guides that I pushed out. This is as it's come out, and I've just literally put it on the side, and I can see, you can't really see, but there's quite a lot of oil on the outside of the guide. Now I wouldn't expect there to be oil on the guide. I expect it to be dry as it got pushed out. So I'm thinking that on idle, when it's had big vacuum in the ports, it's been drawing the oil down the guide. Now if we turn it over, number 4 cylinder here, if we look, I'll try and do this, we've got a bit of a light on it. Doesn't look like we're focusing very well. Let's put this in front of it. Can you focus on that? No? Let's turn it off. Right, okay, we've focused now. So, can you see in the top right hand corner there, if I come down the port with my pick, it actually falls into it. It's a hole. See it? I was just scratching around and I could see a little bit of a pimple, and I just pressed it and it just fell through. So that's where the hole in the port is that was allowing it to steam and start vaping on idle. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a sleeve, because it's fairly parallel the hole, and make an expanding sleeve, and then we'll put it in with some Devcon and it will fix it. I have been here before, so we'll get that done. It'll be Monday now. But yeah, nice to have a little bit of an idea where we're going with it, because I really want to get this back together. Possibly try and test it on my dyno in the back of the van, just not under load, just run it up and make sure it behaves before I ring Alex and Jenny and say, come and get it, you know, because it always makes me nervous when something's been apart. But all signs are, I think we've cracked it. Congratulations, you've made it to the end of episode 133. Give yourself a massive pat on the back. And yeah, if anyone out there is in a position they've just won a lottery in the board and don't know what to do with the rest of the money, give me a shout. We'll build that stadium, and we'll do what we can to help humans to interact and be part of something and socialise. And you know, I honestly think that it's a massive point to be made there with how we used to be only 30 years ago. Everyone went out to places, grandstands were packed, everyone talked to the person next to them, whereas nowadays, harder, difficult, more expensive, doesn't happen as much for lots of different reasons. But Stock Cars is a great place. I can still remember going to Coventry Stadium, where we used to sit on the seats just above where the cars came out the pit gate. The guy next to us and his mate Phil and Chris, maybe even one of them will be watching this one day, but I still see him at Stock Cars nowadays, all the way from back then, like 10 plus years ago. We always say hello. Anyway, that's what I'm trying to say. Interaction, that's what it's all about. So I'll stop my waffle now and let you get on with the rest of the evening. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next Sunday at 7.
Car racing. Brisker Formula 1 stock car racing is the pinnacle of UK oval motorsport. It's fast, it's loud, it's colourful, and it definitely delivers maximum impact.
Right, onto racing as well, rolling over the top end. of the show are our drivers, with both men and women competing in a race to the checkered flag. Competing on a quarter of a mile oval, full contact is permitted and actively encouraged. The front bumper is to give, the rear bumper is to take. The main aim, the race to the checkered flag. Sometimes it can get quite brutal.
Racing in an anti-clockwise direction on a shale or tarmac surface, it's a race to the front as the fastest drivers start at the rear of the grid. A meeting consists of 3 or 4 qualifying heats for the event's final, with an all-comers race to finish proceedings. Over the course of a season, drivers are racing for points and race wins.
In comes Johnson all the way in, and wide goes Mark Sargent, just enough to survive. As Johnson waiting up on the outside, takes the win.
We have various championships throughout the year, the biggest being the World Final, where drivers from America, New Zealand, Australia and Holland come across to compete against the best in Britain.
Ladies and gentlemen, start your engine!
So they're the basics. What can you expect when you come along to one of our meetings?
Oval racing is unique. You can get up close and personal with viewing right next to the track. Tracks being ovals, it means you can see the action from all the way around the track, including the starter, who tells the drivers and you their racing positions.
With lots of cars on track, racers can get very busy, so definitely a top tip for your first few meetings. Crowd can get quite large, especially at championship events. This brings with it an incredible atmosphere. One of the things you will notice is that drivers have a roof colour. This determines their grade. Drivers' grade determines where they start on the grid. Drivers will move grades throughout the course of the season, dependent upon the number of points scored.
White roofs at the front, red roofs at the back, with blues and yellows in between. And you've guessed it, the red roofs, the ones currently holding the most success. Definitely ones to keep an eye on. Finally, the cars themselves. Purpose-built chassis with bumpers front and rear, huge V8 Chevrolet engine. They look and sound like nothing else.
Milan Fastly comes in all the way on the back of the number 1. Out wide they go, and through on the inside, can Scriven come up there? So he's a take.
A family-orientated sport with big stars and big personalities. Check out the fixture list on our website and come along. You won't be disappointed.